Paolo, were you surprised by this announcement that Juventus and Conte have parted ways?
I was surprised. Doesn't come unexpected in the sense that, you know, a few months ago, at the end of the season, Conte had a few doubts in renewing the contract with Juventus. And that dragged for a few weeks. On the end, Juventus and Conte, maybe on the push of all the Juventus fans that love him like a coach, decided to extend the contract for another year. This aside, the economical and financial aspect was more an act of love towards Juventus and the hundreds of thousands of Bianconeri fans. But you know, Juventus in this first month of trading season confirm the attitude that Agnelli and all the directors of the Turin club had, not to spend a lot of money. And Conte, that is considered himself a winning coach, after the bad experience in Champions League, in the moment that he renewed for another year his contract, asked that Juventus will be competitive on international and European field. And for this reason, he asked three major players to be invested in the team. And he mentioned at the beginning the name of Sanchez, you know, the forward that I think signed now with Arsenal, from Barcelona to Arsenal. He asked for Cuadrado of Fiorentina, and asked also for a big defender with experience that can complement Chiellini, Barzagli and Bonucci. It's obvious that Juventus doesn't have the money to spend, or doesn't want to spend the amount of money that players like Sanchez, Cuadrado require.
Paolo, but after the shock to Juventus fans and their club that Antonio Conte is leaving, it must have been a double shock to find out today that Massimiliano Allegri has been hired. I never would have thought in a million years that Allegri would be the newest hire. I thought Deschamps, the French national head coach and former Juve player, would be a guy in hot demand by them. What happened there?
That too is something that shocked not only you and me, but make very, very upset all the Juventus fans. Because, you know, Allegri for the last couple of seasons, when he was the coach of Milan, had a lot of querelle, a lot of things bad that he said about Juventus. Then there is the precedent that he was the cause of Pirlo leaving Milan and going to Juventus. So there is not a great relation between Pirlo, that is the flag, the most important player that Juventus has, and Allegri. And then we are going to the opposite, because Conte was a coach, young, very aggressive, outspoken, demanding, and a coach that never was looking for a compromising situation, doesn't matter where. Allegri is the opposite, very cultural, very quiet, very humble in a certain way, but I don't know if I don't think he has the charisma, the energy that Conte has. So we are going from one side to the opposite. There is the problem of Pirlo. There is also the fact of the precedent between Juventus and Milan, and between Conte and Allegri, and also Allegri in the last 2-3 years didn't do a lot of good things with Milan. They won the first year the championship, but then was a constantly defeat after defeat. So his palmarès went a little bit down.
Paolo, let's talk about what is the next step for Antonio Conte. We heard right away when he resigned, people were saying that he was going to take over the Italian national team. Some have said today that he's going to take a year off, get some valuable English lessons, and make his way to England. What do you believe, and what have you heard?
But there are three areas here. The two that you mentioned, and plus there is also some rumors that is looking to go to France with Paris Saint-Germain, and that I don't know how then all the other pieces they're going to come together. My personal feeling is that at the end he's going to accept an offer from the Italian Federation. There is a problem. The Italian Federation, the maximum that they can spend for a coach is $2 million a year. Conte with Juventus signed the new contract at $4.5 million, and for sure his objective was to reach $6 million in year 3. So we are talking a huge difference in the salary platform, in the economic platform. But you know, Italy after Prandelli is at the lower level. In 2 years there are the European Championship. Maybe Conte, that is considered himself a winning coach, and it is, because in the last year he won 3 titles and 2 Super Cup in Italy. If he's going to take over Prandelli position, coaching the Italian national team, doesn't matter what kind of result. Worse than Italy today, it cannot be. So for him, it's going to be a successful season. And probably in 2 years, he can prepare a team that can be competitive on the European Championship.